Good morning, everyone. Jill Hildebrand here. I'm an alumni of MCI from 1992, a parent of a current student, as well as 2 graduates, and a substitute teacher at the school as well, just most recently this past year. I am in isolation on my farm out here in Crystal City. As you can see, I don't see anyone for miles. My farm is just beyond these trees, and I am walking the lane today with you here today. So we are missing everyone at MCI. We are used to being there almost weekly to see students and staff, other parents of course, so that is a community that we miss so much. So it's great to be talking to you today. There's a bit of wind here on my lane today, so you're gonna see my wind-blown hair and all those kind of things, but that doesn't matter. I've got my sunglasses on. If I take them off, I'm gonna be a squinter, so I'm gonna wear them. But that means that the sun is out and it's lovely today, and I can see a few cedars going in the distance, so that is nice as well. I want to talk to you today a little bit about strength and joy and of a love that we feel for each other like a family. And it reminds me of our community at MCI as well. So I want to tell you a story today, actually. This is a story that I have written personally. I have read it in church as a children's story, and it was written right after a visit that I had to an uncle of mine who lives in town in Crystal City. And he occasionally inspires me actually to write stories like this, or to read stories that he's found during children's stories in our churches. And we have a lot of great visits and a lot of great talks. So the morning that I went to go see him, he wanted to show me something in his yard. He had also taken pictures of this in his yard. And after our visit, I came home and was inspired to write this story immediately that afternoon. So Uncle Art sent me the photos he had taken. They are included in the story. And this is a story I wrote from inspiration from that visit. So I hope you enjoy. I'm actually going to head inside to read it in my living room because it's kind of windy out here and I want you to be able to see the pages and everything. And then I'll head back outside later on and finish this up. So I hope you enjoy, and we'll chat with you later. The Sunflower, written by myself, inspired by Art Hildebrand, and I've wrote here, "Thank you, Uncle Art, for your sunflower, your message, and our conversations." There once grew a sunflower in the corner of a yard in a small village. The sunflower was tall and strong and the brightest yellow anyone had ever seen. The flower had been planted by the village scholar who adored plants, stories, and traveling the world. The sunflower was a joy to him, and he admired its color and strength as he watched the stalk grow tall and the bright yellow petals encircle its large floral head. He looked forward to the day when it would fill the corner of his yard with its tall stalk and colorful flower, taller than any other plants on his yard and more colorful than anything he had ever grown. One evening, a forceful wind blew, and the next morning the scholar found that his beloved flower's stalk had bent and cracked throughout the night. The stalk, which was once tall and strong, was now broken and touching the ground. The bright and beautiful head of the flower was now dirty and ever so slightly wilting. The scholar was sad and knew that he didn't have time to clean it up that day, so he left it and went about his business for the day. Days turned into weeks, and one morning The scholar went out to check his plantings around his yard, planning to clean up the remains of his beloved sunflower. To his amazement, the heap of sunflowers was still growing. Its stem was green, with lush leaves, and its petals still bright yellow. The scholar stood in amazement and was overjoyed. He hadn't even thought of the sunflower in days. As the scholar looked closer at his precious plant, he noticed that where the stem had been broken, a white, calloused growth grew. Where the wounded stem had once been open, the scholar knew he needed to help the sunflower if it was going to continue to heal. And this is that photo that my Uncle Art actually took of his sunflower in his yard. The scholar held the broken edges of the stalk together and placed a stake along the edge. He wrapped the stalk closely with a stretchy nylon binding, making sure to have some give so the stem could still grow. The scholar then braced the flower's head with a small trellis so that it wouldn't hang in the dirt or dangle, making sure there was no additional pressure on it as it healed. The scholar stood back and was pleased with the bandages on the flower. Weeks passed, and the flower continued to heal and grow. Its stalk, once strong, once tall and straight, was now crooked, but still stronger than ever. At the end of the deformed stalk was a large flower head, full of bright yellow petals and bursting with seeds that had now formed in the fall. So here's that sunflower now full grown. The sunflower was no longer the tallest plant on the scholar's yard, nor was it the most colorful. But this did not take away from its beauty, and the scholar's face still lit up every time he went to check on it. He looked forward to the day when he could harvest the seeds and feed the birds on his yard. Everyone, back outside after reading that story. We all know people in our lives just like that sunflower. People that need to possibly be held up a little more and helped. People that need a little extra care and love. And maybe they're broken because of circumstance and not necessarily because of choice. We also may know people in our lives just like that scholar. And these are the kind of people who recognize beauty and strength in those around them, even if they appear to be broken. Actually, they don't give up on those kind of situations. They don't give up on those who may seem to be hurting or broken or not finding joy. And my wish for you today is that we find the strength to hold each other up, so that healing and joy can be possible. These are uncertain times right now. We're all itching to see each other and to hold each other and to find that joy again in those friendships and those relationships. And I know that we can find joy and hope in this brokenness around us, knowing that that is going to take time and patience and a lot of love. So this is my challenge for you today. I hope you enjoyed the story today. I am loving the outdoors and the sunshine. My puppies are enjoying it as well. I've got one here. I've got one back there as well. And I am wearing my shirt today that says "Kind is cool." So Be kind to each other, find joy in the little things today, and hopefully we will see each other soon. Take care. A big shout out to the staff and the students at MCI.